Alright everybody, hello and welcome back to the Join Dota League with Truesight TV. I'm SP Revolution 5, joined by Reinessa Dota for SadVoids up against Isurus Gaming HyperX. Reinessa, it's a little awkward to say this now, but how's it going?
I'm excited to be casting tonight, so if you were here during our little pre-show, you heard us trying to figure out some things about these teams. SadVoids have a lot of promise. They've been doing pretty well in JDL so far. So it'll be interesting to see what they can do against Isurus, which is a fairly well-established team, I think, with a lot of practice behind them. So we're hoping to see SadVoids, show us how they. I haven't actually caught any of their games, so I don't know how they've been playing, and I'm interested to see what their style is. And I think we're both interested to see what the South American meta is right now. I think we're both a little out of the loop on that. Yeah,
and of course, this game, I can already tell you what's going to happen. They're going to pick, like, some really standout heroes, and we're going to be like, oh my goodness, this is it. This is the South American meta. Next game, it'll be completely different. This will just be like an outlier in the whole thing. By the way, thank you whoever just followed me, because you reminded me to turn off all this stuff. Yep. Although I can leave now playing on, because I'm going to need that in between games. Anyways, Troll Warlord going to be picked up by Isurus right off the bat. I wouldn't be surprised to see their lineup built around it. They've banned out the Axe, they've banned out the Jug, and if you're going to pick Troll, you've got to get rid of Axe. If you're giving your whole team extra attack speed, Axe is like, why, thank you. I'll just walk in, taunt them all, and then spin like a helicopter. It's honestly part of the reason Axe came to popularity. First, Jug became popular, and his attack speed was high anyway, and then they said, hey, we can buff up his attack speed with a Troll Warlord. And Axe is like, well, if you're both attacking so fast, I can just dunk you on the head. So it kind of became the Holy Spinity, if you will. And now Earthshaker for SadVoids is a first pick here.
And I mean, as we expected, we see the Bat Rider and the Clockwork banned out. Both very good heroes, very good at controlling the positioning, controlling the fight, etc. So
and Clockwork very good against Earthshaker too.
Now it'd be interesting to see what their strategy is. I mean, are they going to early pick a Broodmother? They do get to pick 2 in a row, so they go with the Bristleback, which, as I said before, wouldn't be surprised if we see it. He is an amazing hero, I would say. I just think he's very powerful.
Oh, you just like him for its back. I see. Isurus, though, they'll pick up a very early Storm Spirit, and most people would say, if you're not familiar with the team, well, this is way too early for Storm Spirit. He'll just get countered. It's DDX Storm. You have to pick it up, or they will ban it out, or otherwise, they're just shooting themselves in the foot at that point, if they're going to let Isurus get away with it. Because this is... I've said before, and I will say it again, DDX's Storm is on par with Dindy, in my opinion. It's on par with S4. It's right up there with the best of them.
We do see the Quap banned out, so they might not be expecting a mid-Storm Spirit.
He does play it safe lane a lot, though. Okay. Surprisingly, because he can rush the Orchid even faster, he doesn't have to go for a bottle to sustain with health. You have supports there to give you tangos and whatnot. Which, that's one of the reasons I think he's so successful with it, is because he does play it safe lane more often than other teams, at least in my opinion. I don't have stats to back that up, necessarily. But Queen of Pain, yeah, being banned out. SadVoid's showing that they've done their homework. They know what this team is up to.
And Isurus taking their time with their next ban. Now, they do have a 30-second penalty, so they have less time to make their decisions than they would normally have, because they had a hard time getting some of their players into the lobby.
Yeah. With the restart from DDX. But, I mean, I'd rather have him a little late than having to pause for 10 minutes in the game, where we really have to provide filler, you know?
Yeah, when we're really under pressure here. And they ban out the Witch Doctor.
I actually like this ban. They have some very frontline heroes in Earthshaker and Bristleback, and I'm a little surprised that Isurus haven't banned Sniper. This is a hero who's been on the rise recently, mainly, I think, because of the rise of Axe and Troll, but also because, there's a lot of beefcake heroes in the meta right now. Bristleback, Earthshaker, frontline heroes, and before these heroes were really a factor, I was saying, okay, Sniper's a bad hero. He just is. In pubs with no good team backing him up, he just gets jumped on, he gets squishy. However, there was a game during DAC, and I believe Dindy was playing Sniper. And I was like, oh god, now I'm going to see all these people going mid with Sniper and failing because, well, Dindy did it. But one thing I noticed in the game was they had very tanky frontline heroes. I believe they had either... It was either one of these two or Clockwork or Centaur. I know that's really vague, but they had very tanky heroes in the front lines. And Dindy was just sitting back like, yeah, I can pick them off. You guys deal with them. Make sure they don't get to me, and we'll be fine. So I wouldn't be too surprised to see that come out for SadVoids. They might save it for a 5th pick, if they can, but...
So they ban out the Void now. Or not the Void.
The Tide.
The Tide. There we go. And they pick up a Vengeful Spirit. So that was what I was going to say is I would see them either choosing to pick Avenge or a Dazzle here. And that's why the Witch Doctor got banned out, because I think SadVoids is going for the minus armor, physical damage. Physical damage is much stronger right now than magical, so picking these disabling supports comboed up with someone who takes away armor like Bristleback and Venge, they'll have a lot more options for a core now. We'll be able to get a lot of work done, and Troll will melt very quickly.
Yeah, I'm actually a little surprised that they banned out things like the Queen of Pain and the Tidehunter on the side of SadVoids, simply because Earthshaker generally does well in a counter team fight kind of setup, seeing as he can counter-initiate very nicely with Echo Slam. But Isurus Gaming actually pick up the Rubik, and this will be very good against Earthshaker, seeing as picking up Fissure will be extremely useful, and it's a relatively easy spell to grab, seeing as Earthshaker has, well, a rather high cooldown on his ult, and still a slightly long cast time on his W. It's not quite as long as the Q, but Rubik, of course, will get it with no cast time, and that's going to work very well. Lycan, though, picked up by SadVoids, and that's going to be their hard carry. Whether they choose to play him mid or safe lane, not really sure, but he's going to be able to be their main core here. And actually, Magnus coming out for Isurus Gaming. This could get scary real quick.
Yeah, Magnus is definitely not picked up very frequently at all. This is interesting, to say the least.
Okay, I'm going to throw it out right now. Do SadVoids ban techies? Okay, I know it seems a little stupid, Reinessa, but techies Magnus is terrifying.
Throw a Rubik in there as well.
Yeah.
However, SadVoids has a lot of armor, so they may not be that scared about techies.
I mean, they have okay armor, sure, but the amount of burst that's going to come out from techies would be fantastic for dealing with this. The problem is the Lycan, who can definitely send his wolves out early and kind of run them through the minefield and sacrifice them to techies and say, oh, we got that much gold, whatever. They'll actually ban out the Omni Knight here.
I would expect SadVoids to pick up a Shadow Fiend at this point.
I wouldn't be too surprised.
Unless they're going to run the Lycan mid, which I think is still a thing.
It's definitely possible, yeah. And he can lane just fine against Storm Spirit. In fact, he's a very aggressive laner. I've played a little bit of Lycan recently, but it's actually going to be a Tinker. And as we were talking about in our pregame, if I'm not mistaken, SadVoids did recently pick Tinker. I want to say up against Rebeldes. They also picked it up against an unknown team in the Chilean Dota League, and against Team Pineapple. This is one of their favorite heroes, and they seem to have a very good win rate with it. Trying to find that now. They haven't picked it quite as much as I thought they did, it looks like.
One last pick.
Oh, yes, they have. Isurus. Actually, they have a 100% win rate with Tinker over 6 games.
Oh, wow.
That is very impressive for a hero who is not looked at as very strong right now. Also, with the Lycan on the team, they're going to be able to get Tinker across the map very quickly, wherever they want him with the Wolves. So, this is very nice. Now, they do have a Wraith King pickup. This is good for Isurus. It's a tanky presence. They've already got Storm dishing out damage. This is a carry who isn't going to get bursted down quickly by the Tinker.
And then when you combo it up with a Troll Ultimate as well, Wraith King gets a lot... I mean, you could say that for a lot of people, but...
But Wraith King's already got a natural crit, but he doesn't have that much attack speed. It's kind of like a poor man's Juggernaut right here. But he always has Aegis, so... I guess it's okay, you know? Nobody saw that notification come up, by the way. Let me just go offline on Steam. I always forget to do this. Don't you love how I pointed that out to everyone as well?
They all actually will notice now.
Yeah. Anyway, so we'll be moving into game very shortly here. Isurus, they may have been taking away the reserve time, but they've still got their time in between the game and whoa.
Wow.
Go remake. Okay, we will be right back with the remake. I'm going to play no music in the break and we'll just talk, if that's cool. I hope the admin realizes. Did the admin realize? I just hit reconnect like a stupid person. Okay, he realized we're going to remake. I'm actually disconnecting this time. Failing a little bit here. By the way, if you haven't yet done so, make sure you hit that follow button below Truesight TV. You can also find us on Twitter and Facebook at Truesight TV. And if somehow you're still hearing my voice in game, check that out. I've forgotten. Oh, wait, no, I haven't.
I almost forgot as well.
Yeah, I almost asked you right there, like, Reinessa, what's the password? Just say it on stream. Go ahead, it's safe, I promise. I mean, in all reality, there's a 2-minute delay, but there's also a game too, so let's not, yeah. Anyways, talking about drafts, I've got to say I favor SadVoid's lineup a bit. They've got excellent push power. They've got really strong team fight. And their lineup just looks a lot more like it was planned from the start.
The Tinker threw me a little. I did not expect that. I think a Shadow Fiend would have been very good.
Yeah.
But with it being a pocket strategy for them, it can be very powerful just because teams aren't used to playing against it.
Yeah, and because it's clearly a very powerful hero for this team as well.
We'll have to see how they play. I'm interested to see it. We don't see much Tinker anymore.
Yeah, and I'm not sure who all is entering and exiting the lobby now. No idea. Anyways.
So there's just a few extra people in the lobby.
And they want to kick Invaders, which you can't blame for that, since he was previously their stand-in. Yeah. Also, guys, while we're here in the break, if you happen to be some sort of tournament admin and you're like, wow, this is such great casting in just the draft, we don't even have to listen to the actual cast. We know we want them. Hit us up. We're very interested. Why is he rejoining? Oh, he is an official caster. Okay, sorry. But if you're enjoying that, make sure you contact us. You can contact us through our Twitch message system. But the better way would be through Twitter or Facebook or at truesighttv.1@gmail.com. So, yeah. Anyways,
so hopefully we'll be going pretty soon.
Yeah.
So we'll just have to wait and see. Just straightening some things out between admins, casters, etc. Yeah, the standard challenges. And everybody will... This will remake and it'll just be all pick this time.
I love the your opinion means gold to me.
The things that are said in the lobbies are usually fairly amusing.
Yeah. Of course, I mean, I'm not divulging any secret information. I'm not talking about who said what. There's been that kind of issue before, I know, where I accidentally divulged that information and everyone was like, oh my god, why you do this? I'm like, okay, never gonna happen again. But as long as nobody knows who says what, then, hey, whatever.
I don't know who's in this lobby.
Volvo, please.
We did not manage to make a game. Game was unsuccessfully made.
Yeah. That happens sometimes in private lobbies where it just finds server, everybody loads in, and then it just boots you right back to the lobby for no reason. The stream's back to green, but let's go green here, Ryu. You know how it is. Okay. And we're just gonna make sure we're ready to go. Pause the game.
We'll just
okay.
wait. Let's wait and see. Give them some time to figure some things out.
I mean, okay. I'll wait patiently. I'm excited for the game. I'm really excited to see Tinker once again in like an actual game. Here we go. We're in here. All pick time. Hopefully the players will... Wait, did they fix that bug? I haven't been in a remake in a long time. It looks like they fixed the bug where if you pick your hero but don't press the button to load them into the game, it doesn't show up here. And so all we'd hear was, Troll, Warlord, Lycan, but we wouldn't see anything on screen.
Oh, I see.
Anyways, there we go, Vengeful Spirit.
Like,
I also
don't
wish...
you remember your hero?
I also wish they would just say, okay, everyone's picked. Let's not sit around for 30 seconds. Let's start the game. This isn't a pub. Nobody went to grab a drink. If they did...
They had time to do it before. That is...
yeah.
This is very true.
We've been sitting here for a while.
But they have their heroes.
Again, guys, big shout out to all of you for coming out. It means a ton to us. Being still a relatively new casting studio and getting about 80 viewers for a game that we didn't really have too much notice for. So, big shout out to you guys, of course. And of course, the South American Dota Respective Pause.
There is no other way to start these games. Alright, so this is a, let's see, so support Rubik and Wraith King with a Troll, Storm Spirit, Magnus. Now this is a really powerful draft. They have excellent disables, really good crowd control. It's not, I don't think it's too greedy. I think their laning should go fairly well. Magnus might have a pretty hard time in the off lane, but I also think that they could safe lane the Magnus and aggro try. I don't know if that's something anybody would ever do. The
problem with aggro trying here is that Nadara on the Wraith King is going to need a lot of XP. Now, if they haven't changed things up since the last time I casted Isurus, which keep in mind was a long time ago in a land far, far away, but Nadara was playing support for the team at that point.
Yes.
And Pepita, if I'm not mistaken, was playing carry.
Yeah, and that's how it still is. So Nadara's on the Wraith King and Pepita is on the Troll.
Yes, they're actually going to have a core Troll, is what I'm saying, and it is the support Wraith King, which you already said now that I think about it, but who thinks about it, Reinessa?
It's completely unnecessary to think about it.
Yeah. Is it just me, or can I zoom in more than usual?
It is because they are up in the fountain, which is a higher elevation, so it's close to the camera.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it won't do it on Dire. Okay. I was like, what am I doing wrong? How am I going to control the zoom? What's going to happen? Oh my god. Yeah, because the actual zoom all the way in will, like, zoom in on the face of the hero, basically, right?
Alright, and now SadVoids, no Void.
Yeah.
So they have, unfortunately, when it comes to team fights, they'll have a bit of a challenge. Their execution is very different, I think, from what we're used to seeing. So Isurus, I understand how they're going to be fighting. I have a harder time. I want to see how SadVoids plays this because Tinker and Lycan are both capable of split pushing. And the challenging thing here is that Tinker actually keeps the lanes pushed out. And that's where Lycan gets a lot of his farm. So this is going to have to be some kind of battle Lycan, I think, than the traditional pushing Lycan to make this make sense, to make their team fights worth it. But unfortunately, on the other side of things, you lose a lot of Lycan's power. just because of that.
Okay, this I'm just gonna be. I'm not gonna comment, but it seems a little fishy.
So, for people who are watching, I'm not sure if you can see the text. Or
can we not remake a game? Oh my god. They can see the text. Right? Yeah, they can see the text. I fixed the overlay.
Yeah, so for those of you who are wondering, there is a caster who was previously a stand-in for Isurus, I think.
Okay. He's leaving.
Yeah. So I think SadVoid is uncomfortable with him staying in the game, which is fair because he was in team chat with him.
Well, apparently he's still in team chat with him, and he has himself muted, and he's just moving the game so that people could watch, basically, and hear what the players are saying. I'm just trying to see. It doesn't show if he's in the lobby or not, but...
It would show him as leaving on the side, I believe.
It doesn't do that with casters anymore.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, which is nice, but,
Alright, it looks like we will be going here soon. So to explain what my confusions are about SadVoids, I understand, so Earthshaker, Venge, Bristleback, standard, very, very good in team fights, a lot of disable zoning, decent damage coming out as well.
a lot of negative armor, too.
Yeah, and that's what's a little surprising, because a lot of times maybe you want that fight to be happening without Lycan while Lycan is taking objectives. But Tinker can come in and burst and leave, and when you have a Venge and a Bristleback, you kind of want another core backing up and hitting. Which, I mean, this Tinker is their pick. I mean, they are obviously playing it in a way that, you know, I'm not imagining. So it will be interesting, you know, just to see how they execute it. Now, so...
It's fast! No, it's not!
Oh, is it Sad? No, it's Isurus that has the...
I mean, remake check a stream. Okay, whatever. I don't care. I'm just trying to say, hey, it's not gonna say he left. Can we get on with the game? Okay. If you're on a team, can you talk with your team and not say two completely different things?
Yes, that is ideal. Alright, so to run through some quick introductions so you guys know who is playing who with all these stand-ins and everything, I will start out on SadVoids because I know we have Isurus Fanboy here casting with us as well. So we have Gexos playing our Earthshaker, and the whole team's running bottom, so this is nice and easy to look at all of them. Kezia on this Venge Spirit, Zap Brannigan on our Tinker, and stand-in Angel playing the Bristleback, and stand-in Jix on this Lycan. We'll have to see how they play it. Now they have level 1 smoked as well, and they are going to run into 2 heroes potentially. They're going to run into
just one
here.
Stun on the Rubik Fissure to follow up, and fullback is going to be falling back very early on here. Not too much of an engagement, but for just a little mana cost, they're going to put a good chunk in Rubik's HP early on.
That was very unfortunate.
He's already used the Tango, too.
They stacked their stunts, and Earthshaker actually blocked off the team there.
Yeah.
So if he had waited to get into a slightly better position with the way the Radiant jungle camp was there, he could have cut Rubik off from his team entirely, and they definitely would have gotten first blood.
Yeah.
So I feel like SadVoid's lost a lot with that smoke there. They have to give up the bottom rune now. Earthshaker's pretty low on mana. They're going to lose the top rune as well since they had to take the time to rotate bottom.
And that's a great start for Isurus. Yeah. Getting both bounty runes. Yeah. Basically a level for one hero, but it's of course split among two. If either bounty rune got you to level 2, I think we would see serious, like I think you could justify being killed and picking up the rune and saying that's completely worth it, even giving up first blood. But Dolce on the top lane. I'll get to the introductions in a second, if we even make it that far, as he gets hit with the fissure. One more right click for first blood, and Kezia may have been low on mana, but still able to do it. They actually had level 1 Howl from Lycan, and he's been able to use it twice now, I believe, and get a lot of damage out. So very efficient early on. Let's go ahead and introduce Isurus. We've got Dolce Mania. up on the Magnus. DDX on his signature Storm Spirits mid, up here against the Tinker. Papita will be on the safe lane carry Troll Warlord, and in the jungle, the mighty jungle, we've got fullback on the Rubik and good old Nadara on the Wraith King. Of course, I'm SP Revolution 5, joined by Reinessa Dota for Truesight TV. And let's get into this game now that it's a minute past the buzzer.
Yeah, now I think Dolce, as we predicted, is going to have a very challenging lane up here. But if he can manage to get experience, that's just really good for them. I mean, that's what you're looking for in an off lane these days. And really short range on the Venge and a melee hero here in the Earthshaker. So if Magnus can control the lane equilibrium fairly well, he has a pretty good chance of doing well in this lane.
Yeah.
Now, that is going to mean that they'll, if he does continue to do well, they'll leave the Lycan alone, and they'll rotate, and this is a really powerful rotating combo. So they're probably going to wait to give other members of their team a few levels so that ganks will go well.
And keep in mind, if they can secure some kills for Tinker and shut down DDX. Yeah.
Before Tinker is 6.
And before Storm is 6. That's the key thing here. It's not as much about Tinker having a 6, because, in all honesty, his ult doesn't matter. It's the Storm having 6 that's going to matter, but instead, it'll be Isurus rotating mid, gets a stun off, they have a haste rune on the Wraith King, but the counter initiation from SadVoid's here. They'll take down the Rubik. DDX on the retreat here. Very nicely played by them. In fact, I didn't even realize SadVoid's had already rotated around.
Yeah, so they, Tinker had his level 3. Storm Spirit was level 3, but Tinker level 3 does a lot of damage, 2 points up in laser and then a point in the rockets. So I think Gexos?
Yeah, I guess so.
Had started moving mid, to make this rotation happen. Bench had picked up a TP in case the opportunity presented itself, but was still able to stay top, get some XP and everything, and they just kept an eye on mid. And Dire has vision on both runes. So they know exactly who gets the runes and who's doing what with them. And if I'm not mistaken, Nadara had a haste. So I think they knew he was planning on going in just because they saw him pick that up.
And they predicted that very well, because Zap was back here, managed to move behind the tower, and Nadara rotated around this way. Now, there was just a TP out there from someone or other. An Angel could get caught out here. They have a body block from Rubik for a second, though. They'll actually pull him back and get another shot at that body block. The stun comes out from Nadara, but he is hitting him in the back. I don't think they'll be able to bring him down here. Papita comes in and does have a bit of lifesteal thanks to Wraith King. They'll actually be able to maybe bring him down. One more hit will do the job. Oh, it was just enough. The bottle on Bristleback, actually, being picked up. And this is something you don't see very often, but I've played Bristleback mid in the past. He's a very powerful ganker, and he eats a lot of mana. So, and actually, this is the change that Gorgon was talking about. He was actually predicting in that article that Bristleback will be able to stack the camp from up here. Because of the way the spawn box worked right here, it would actually force the creeps around, and you'd be able to stack even easier on the Dire side, especially if you had physical damage from the high ground. And that's exactly what he did. He's got a triple stack right here on these Ancients, and he's basically going to be able to be his own little Tide Hunter, if he wants to.
Now here in the mid lane, Jexus and Kezia are waiting up here on the high ground. There is, I believe, no Radiant, so no Radiant Vision of this. And they're just waiting for this Storm Spirit to come back. So DDX running right out into the mid lane. He is level 5. He's about to hit 6. One more creep. They need to kill him before a creep dies, or he'll just zip away. And there's the
They've got him.
Again, making sure, and he hits level 6.
Just in time. This range creep right here saves DDX's life. You better not deny that creep.
Yeah, we're seeing the effect of stand-ins right now, I think, just because they've stacked their stuns a few times now. It's lost them a couple kills.
Yeah.
Which is unfortunate for SadVoids. But they are still, ahead. Isurus hasn't managed to get on the board yet.
And Isurus is only slightly ahead in terms of farm. Bristleback seeing 2 last hits behind the Magnus in the offlane. Storm sitting 5 ahead of Tinker. Of course, DDX doesn't lose mid at Storm. He doesn't. Anyways, up top, we're actually going to have Gix get picked up, thrown back, and there we go. Rubik taking him down with the Fade Bolt. And he will just fade from existence there briefly. Does have his Wolves up now, sitting on level 5. But this is what I want to talk about with Lycan. He has so much early damage as a core. Usually, your hard carries that are going to be able to scale well into the late game, like Anti-Mage, Spectre, they have almost no presence in lane. This is a carry who is almost exactly the opposite. He has 15 extra attack speed and 15% extra damage level 1 on his hero. That's like a Vlad's level of damage. Now Dolce, he's actually going to be able to skewer over the cliff. Can they secure it? They will be able to with Gexo on the other side, waiting with the right click. But Lycan, with the Howl and just a point up in Feral Impulse and then the Wolves, he's going to be able to get quite a few kills early on here. Now DDX is possibly jumping in mid here. He will zip up top. Is not going to find the kill, but again, he has very low cooldown, 17 seconds, and he'll be able to pull off that same combo again if he bottles back up here.
Now, even though Magnus did fall, he has Arcanes. He's had them for a little while now, and he's about to hit level 6, so he's pretty much getting everything out of this lane that he wants, and the Troll is lasting much better than the Lycan is, and especially on Denies. So Bristleback is also about to hit 6 now. He does have a lot of Ancients that he just killed to help him out there with that.
But keep in mind, Bristleback, he does have more net worth, and I believe that's simply because of the fact that he isn't dying, and he's actually farming those Ancients, which are worth more. Rubik will go down in exchange for Tinker on the mid lane, which I think is actually a fine trade, seeing as they got a little bit of extra XP for Nadara, who's been mostly out of the bot lane. You see Pepita, he's sitting level 7 right now. So actually got early access to that ult, and they've just used it in the previous team fight to show, hey, they have some serious dominance, and if Isurus can get a hold of a little bit of map control, they can take Roche extremely early. With Troll Warlord's ult, the amount of damage you can get from Storm, and even if they decide to just put a value point in something like Magnus Cleave for the bonus damage, it is 20% extra damage. They can take Roche very quickly, especially with lifesteal from Wraith King as well. So, however, of course, Lycan on the other team, it's going to be a highly contested spot on the map right now.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, and then also Bristleback and Venge make Roche quite a bit easier with the minus armor. We choose to go for that now. Let's see. Rubik pinging out top. He has a haste rune, so he comes in, lift on the Lycan, throws him back. Lycan trying to ult. He does get the ult off. The RP is there to hold him in place. He's actually being hit by the tower. He didn't have this stun from the Earthshaker to save him, but there is, so there is a nice shockwave there just to finish off the Lycan. I think he got a little greedy. He
got very greedy.
Could, go in there.
Yeah, Dolce, it looked like he was about to get away, and then he turns around and Dolce's like, this is my time to shine, but he throws out the shockwave and manages to secure the kill there. Very nicely done, and that Lycan ult is on a very high cooldown early on. Later on, it's just a minute. So 20 seconds out of the, or 18 seconds out of the minute, he's going to be in his ult form. However, right now, it's practically double that, I believe, yeah. I mean, I've played some Lycan recently, I'm not spamming him every single game, so forgive me, please. And actually, mid lane, DDX is out of mana, and he actually has no way to hit right now. He doesn't have enough. He's going to fall. They finish him off with a wave of terror. What a way to go.
So really nice rotations and map awareness, I would say, from SadVoids, and they're doing a good job on timing. So even if their coordination is a little challenged in a few places, their timing is really nice. Now Nadara is sitting here, just got his level 5, so they're just trying to give their support some XP and leave Troll farm. So Troll's just maintaining equilibrium right now. Not looking to push and force an issue.
67 last hits in under 10 minutes. This is, I mean,
80 perfect?
I want to say 80's perfect. Yeah, I want to say it might be like 77 or something. It's 70 something, but it's close to 80.
It's actually more than 80 because there's siege creeps.
Okay. I honestly don't know the math because I never get close to that amount of CS in 10 minutes, so but still, this is, I mean, we were talking about, are these players' ping going to be affected? Pepita, he must be doing just fine. I'm going to real quick just check ping here. Tell me if there's any action. I don't know which one Pepita is.
Now there is a fight here down bottom. Nadara getting gone on by both Kezia and Gexo. The Bristleback coming in as well, so Earthshaker manages to pick up the kill. In comes Troll. hitting away on the Bristleback. He's going to take down Angel, and then they want more, so Fullback has used both his spells. He doesn't have a lift for a while here, but Pepita just hitting away, takes down the Earthshaker, going on Kezia now, and no lift for a while. There will be a zap soon if they can maintain vision. No,
oh my goodness.
Triple kill for Pepita.
Not only is he getting nearly perfect farm, he's also managing to clean up some kills here. He's sitting on a Morbid Mask, Phase Boots, and 2,100 gold. This is probably going to be a 11-minute Blink Dagger. And Pepita is really dominating this game. He's out of control at this point.
Even though Blink Dagger is pretty standard on Troll, I'm not sure how it is against a Tinker.
Oh, wait, whoa. Storm diving way deep here. Dodges the stun, though. DDX with the plays galore as he's near the tier 3 tower. Manages to find a kill for it, though. And may manage to get away as well if he can play his cards right. Oh, no. Never mind. There's a fissure. I was hopeful.
Sure. I think he was waiting to zip onto a hill, or there's a lot of disables for Earthshaker and bench.
I think he was trying to dodge the fissure coming in, and then Magic Wand get away or something. Like, juke the fissure, in other words. Because, again, they've kind of stacked stuns a couple times. We're not seeing great technical play out of these heroes. I think he was trying to take advantage of that, but either way, though, he killed off Tinker. Tinker's still not doing amazing. Does have 12-minute boots of travel, but every time he's been able to find a kill, he's been able to find a death as well. Not that he went looking for one, but
Nadara's about to hit 6. We'll see if he straight up skills his ult or not. On the Courier Patrol is a Yasha, so this is what I was saying before the fight broke out. Even though Blink is somewhat standard on him, against Earthshaker, Bristleback, and Tinker, you don't necessarily want a Blink on your Troll.
Because you don't want to isolate yourself.
And you want to leave Wraith King Magnus and Storm Spirit to that. Now, that was an excellent fight in the middle for them with the Magnus.
Volvo, please implement instant replay. Yeah, I missed that one. Sorry about that, guys, but it was an RP, I'm assuming, into...
Yeah, it was RP, and then Skewered and Shockwave, and just destroyed both of them pretty much right away. And Ben, she really just wants her level 6. She's having a hard time with that. Nadara has skills his ultimate, and they are going in on the Bristleback here.
They're getting slow.
Respawning and slowing up the Bristle a lot. The Earthshaker ducked to not really hit on anyone.
They got him!
Run himself away from the Quills. Nadara is in trouble, but they're actually not going to pursue Earthshaker out of mana, so he's not able to throw down one more Fissure to pick off this Wraith King.
I mean, DDX is playing with Ball Lightning and really putting the balls in Balls Lightning, which doesn't work out exactly, but you get my drift. He is, he's really diving deep with these, and he's making it work, too. I mean, what is he right now? 1 and 2 and 2. Okay, well, the last one was an assist, but he was able to find kills both these times. He didn't go down the last time, and an excellent use of Nadara's ult there as well. Pepita, meanwhile, like, you were talking about this Yasha. Yasha is a very good farming item, because you can move around from camp to camp just a little bit faster. You get a little attack speed, a little damage, and some armor. He looks to be building that into Sanjin Yasha. Probably BKB would be better. I think that might be what he's going for.
I mean, yeah, BKB is always amazing.
But he doesn't need it this early.
Well, this is a hard judgment to make. I would be interested to know the insight of someone who is in this situation a little more often. So yes, BKB is very good, except for the fact that SadVoid is just dishing out a lot of physical damage right now.
Yeah. Oh, Zap gonna get zapped on the mid lane. May go down here. One more right click from DDX will do the job. Doesn't need Ball Lightning out as he's got a Haster to work with here.
And
oh my goodness.
Tinker's having a pretty sad day. So he picked up his boots of travel. He had them fairly quickly, and he hasn't managed to get anything on top of that yet. Potentially the Soul Ring. I didn't see the order of his item build, unfortunately.
Yeah, he went for Revo the Magi into... No, that's Storm. Sorry, just kidding. He's had the same item progression since about 12 minutes. Though. Storm did go for Revo Magi into this Oblivion Staff, though, and I'm assuming he's going to finish up his Orchid next. Honestly, I'm going to go ahead and say it. This is a late Orchid for DDX.
Storm did have, I mean, they did a decent job with their timing and, you know, harassing him, getting that that earlier kill, I believe. Yeah, right when he was level 3.
Meanwhile, though, Lycan's been in the jungle for me. He's actually got a Necro 1 up, but the 3 Musketeers here are here to take him down. They'll find a blink in. They have an RP. They'll interrupt the transformation, but he'll still be able to walk out of here if he doesn't get stunned. Nice fissure from the Earthshaker, and he'll turn around and fight Nadara, dropping very quickly. There's that massive damage coming out from Lycan and his minions. The same with Dolce, as Earthshaker takes him down. They're looking for one more in fullback on the run yet again. He'll juke in the trees here. Actually wasn't spotted for a second, but they'll see him now, trying to burst him down. He might try to sacrifice to the tower, not going to get it off though. Zap Brannigan with one more right click will find him. Meanwhile though, Papita finding a warding Bristleback, or he wasn't even warding there on the Bristleback. He was trying to interrupt his Roche. Papita turns around on him, takes him down, and goes straight back to the pit. Not to mention he now has Sanjinasha complete. The courier coming out to pick something up. He gets the Aegis and drops his magic wand there, and he'll just turn right onto the team, but unfortunately, it looks like he may be going down here. The magic damage is just too much from Tinker right now with the March. And it looks like Tinker will be retreating. They're just going to let Papita get away with his life here, but take his Aegis away, which you can't blame him. The courier tries to come back for Magic Stick. Isn't there anymore.
Yeah, well, someone must have destroyed it when they ran in. So they got a little bit of something out of that.
Yep, sorry, I was just telling chat. Thank you for the perfect CS thing as well, for confirming our stuff. It's A2, Reinessa.
Okay, so it's the 2 siege creeps. Jacking up the number for us.
I guess so.
And so Lycan has picked up Necrobook 2, and he has the Vlads as well, so it's the typical Lycan build. It's going to be really good in fights, I guess. Just, I mean, Necro Minion's powerful, Howl, it's fairly powerful.
I mean, you saw how quick they bursted the enemy team there.
So I'm still wrapping my head around it. This
the Necro
is a little poor.
The Necro is very good because of Feral Impulse. It's like I was talking about. He has so much damage in lane because he's got 15% extra damage level 1 if he skills Feral Impulse. Well, then you've got 30%, and you have 0% health as Storm will be zipping in here, DD up. He'll be able to take him down quickly. Tinker will probably be here to find the kill, but actually Lycan manages to take him down. Tinker does get in here, but Storm did manage to take down a creep, Necro creep before that, so probably didn't lose too much. I wasn't able to pay attention there. Meanwhile, Angel, diving deep, is going to get pushed back into the tower and taken down as Magnus will find him there. Drum charge used. Are they going to chase here?
Yeah. These are really important kills for Isurus.
Yeah.
Now, I would say Isurus are ahead. I mean, they're ahead on kills, and let me pull up the graphs. I'm curious. Yeah, so they're doing pretty well on experience and gold. And they need to be careful to not let it rubber band and to not give too much away to SadVoids. And the reality is with a Lycan and a Tinker, you can extend the game fairly effectively. And I would say Earthshaker and Bend, Bristleback, they all scale very well late. And I mean, obviously Troll, Magnus, etc. These teams are both going to do very well late game.
They're going to look for something here, though. Dolce is waiting.
It's easier and easier to execute the later the game goes.
Definitely.
So Isurus needs to be careful.
Which is the almost cheese level strat of Lycan Tinker. I mean, it's not really cheese. It's not Beastmaster Kunkka Tinker, which we know very well. But it's very strong here, and they did just waste a smoke here, which is going to be a big win for SadVoid, whether they know it or not.
It'd be interesting to see. I need to switch some of my stats so I have a good idea of what's going on. So Troll has a massive amount of net worth right now. So we'll see if he chooses to pick up a Blink Dagger now that he's a little tankier and can actually jump in on heroes and do something to them.
I still say BKB is important here.
Yeah, you would expect. So he's actually picked up Ultimate Orb, so he's either going to go Scotty,
which is definitely possible.
Which is what I would expect. He potentially could get a Manta. I think that'd be very unlikely. So I'm going to assume he's getting a Scotty. And I'm saying Manta is so unlikely that he would be more likely to get a Scythe than a Scotty.
I will say one thing about the Manta. You can Manta dodge Vinge Stun. You can Manta dodge Laser or Rocket if you time it right.
You can Earthshaker ult.
That too, and the fact that he won't get the movement speed. Multiple movement speed bonuses from Yasha-based items, or multiple Yasha-based movement speed, yes, he would disassemble, so never mind.
But I'm expecting that we see a Scotty here. I think it's a much better item this game. It helps him tank up. It means he doesn't have to get a BKB.
Oh!
Down a lot.
Oh my goodness, DDX hiding in the trees over here. They smoked right here, and then these two didn't get smoked. And they're just like, well, that was weird. Why didn't it work? And DDX actually gonna get jumped on. He'll be able to escape. A beautiful 5-man RP as Magnus secures the kill here. DDX coming back in, interrupts Brannigan's TP. Can he find another right click? It doesn't look like he can. DDX though, or Dolce, excuse me, on the back end of the fight, he'll manage to pick off the Earthshaker. And Lycan going down to Troll Warlord. A beautifully executed fight from Isurus Gaming there. Even if they lose DDX, I feel like it was a necessary sacrifice to make because they basically got revenge for their smoke that they already lost. And now Angel getting ripped apart. There was a TP in from Tinker, but he didn't quite make it in time and decided he'd rather go somewhere else.
Yeah, maybe want to cancel that TP and not make this decision. So
don't worry, team. I'm staying in the fountain.
They are pressing their advantage. They traded a Storm for 3 kills, so at first it really seemed like it was going to be a problem. But that's really nice communication from them. Storm said, you know, I'm going to go in, and the Magnus is like, all right, I'm coming. And
it's Scotty, too, from Troll.
Save him just in time. Maybe they were cutting it a little bit close.
Good God. Scotty is going to be done on Troll with about 600 excess gold, if not more, at the moment. He has 15,000 net worth. 22 minutes in the game. Lycan has 93. Magnus, the offlaner who had a rough start, is sitting on 95.
Yeah, Magnus has gotten a lot out of these fights.
Wait, 9.5 thousand, excuse me.
Yes, I understood where you were going.
95,000?
So this is just, it'll make him tankier, and
oh, they do jump on DDX here, which is a pretty big pickoff. He got a soul burn off on Lycan, but it didn't do much damage. But that's a blink for Earthshaker. This could be the turn point for SadVoid. If they can get good blink initiation off with this, seeing as they've just taken a fight without blink, that went their way, picked off a Storm, no casualties, this could be where they look to come back into the game.
It is unfortunate that DDX died. He was probably, you know, a little overconfident.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's DDX playstyle, and it's honestly Storm Spirit in a nutshell, too.
Yeah, it is how the hero works.
You feel like you can do anything. You're Superman, Storm Spirit.
Yeah, SadVoid's have to hold out quite a bit longer, and if they lose a fight with the Troll, and with Empower, Isurus is able to push very, very quickly. Now, that's not to say SadVoid is also capable of pushing very quickly. However, they haven't taken a single tower yet. So if Isurus were to lose a fight and SadVoids take, you know, a couple tier 1s, there's a lot of extra fortifies there to help Isurus out, and there's just more time that they have. So there's still, I think at this point it is Isurus' game to lose, unfortunately for SadVoids for how well they were playing early.
And just when we get done talking about his Scotty, he picks up a blink.
Well, that's what I was saying, is he would, you know, maybe pick up a blink dagger now that he was a little tanky when he had the Sanjanyasha health. So he decided he needed a Scotty as well.
I mean, you don't want to give away a 6-kill streak.
The reality is, who's he going to blink in on? When he blinks in on an Earthshaker, he'll be stunned pretty much right away, unless he truly is the Bash Lord. The same with Avenge.
I'd say Venge is actually the most likely target, but then again, you're giving yourself a negative damage aura, so...
Yes, you don't want to blink in. He's okay.
And at that point, it kind of is, okay, is this just a farming item? And actually, he may not be able to get out from this one. They will back off. They do know the danger this troll poses. They're not going to fight him and then just overextend chasing him, running into the enemy team. They're smarter than that. And actually, Pepita is just going to lifesteal right back up here. I would actually say right now, I'd rather him not have the cleave, but fullback going down. Necro minions as well as Lycan's wolves in general going to take him down, as well as a fissure from Earthshaker to finish him. Nadara getting hit by some mana burn from the creep there, but it will go down to Pepita. And this creep's turning into food. There's an RP on 2. It'll be pushed back into the Troll Warlord, who will just say thank you for the dinner. Magnus DDX getting hit with the Echo Slam. And Wraith King going down. He'll slow the entire team. Papita able to take down Kezia in just a few right clicks. And has to blink forward in just a moment to finish the Earthshaker off before he can even stop. That's a godlike spree for Papita, who has not died this entire game, ladies and gents.
So Pepita's pretty happy. Isurus is probably happy that he was able to make it in time. I know a few people in chat, when they saw the troll pick, they were instantly like, troll Pepita. So I think it's a
common pickup for him these days, yeah. And again, I haven't watched Isurus gaming lately, but I think I'm going to keep an extra special eye on Join Dota for when they're playing in the future, because I'll just go ahead and say, this hasn't been the most one-sided game. I mean, now granted, Isurus have a 14k advantage, but for a game that's 14k advantage, this is a very exciting one. Rather than, oh yay, they have an advantage, they keep getting kills, they're not gonna lose.
SadVoids did very well in the early game with their rotations.
Yeah, and you can still feel that Isurus could lose this game. It's possible. It's not likely, but it's possible.
They need a Hex on the Tinker, and they need a Shivas on the Bristleback. Unfortunately,
their Tinker has gone the way of the Dagon, which, as I know very well, can not exactly win you the game.
And it looks like Bristleback is probably going for a Sange into a Halberd as well, so that'll be really hard for Troll to deal with if he doesn't have a BKB, which he won't. He's choosing to go Butterfly. But it will take Bristle a while to get this Halberd. I mean, all he has is a Belt of Strength. That's what I'm guessing based off the zip-in from DDX.
Oh.
He might explode down here already. The Tinker is going to die to the Soul Burn. DDX,
oh my goodness,
zipping away, just manages to live very, very, very close there.
Not to mention, he's got the Aegis anyway. So, he's got time, and meanwhile, they pop a drum charge on the other side of the map. They're looking for Lycan. Nadara's gonna blink forward. He'll find the stun, and now it's all bashes from here, folks. Gix going down to the Troll Warlord. Keep in mind, Nadara is holding onto a gem as well here.
Well, it's pretty hard to, you know, kill a Wraith King.
Yeah. DDX obviously not getting a blink. Rubik the only one really without any big mobility here, but again, fullback playing what we call the fullback position. If it were old not today, I think it would be who's the one that always feeds there? The Mizoku position. The like, I have nothing, my team has everything. Me and Rupture casted a game a while back where Mizoku had like, I want to say it was a Magic Stick and Tranquil Boots in like a 70-minute game. And his team was winning. It was just that he was the one, like he almost had Malik Award level status, you know?
The Malik Award is a special level unto
his
own. Now Isurus is just, they're depriving SadVoid of really any farm here. Tinker, now this is what's unfortunate. I mentioned at the beginning of the game. Tinker is going to be marching at every tower. He's going to be pushing out every lane he possibly can. This is going to leave very little.
Oh no! Rubik's adopted some pets here as well, and that's going to be just an extremely useful scouting tool. Not that they have enough map, or not that they need any more map control, but just in case. I'd hold on to these for quite a while at this point. The only thing that is better is like Earthshaker, Fissure, or Venge Stun, but that's in a team fight. In this scenario, I'd say this is like the best thing they can have.
And Tinker his mana pool is very low. He's having a very hard time. He doesn't have enough sustain. They really, I mean, they need significant more items. SadVoid they're really lacking in damage. So they have good lockdown, they just don't really have the follow-up they need. And they still haven't taken a single tower. So Isurus is really just depriving them of gaining any advantage or having any presence on the map.
Now you have to keep in mind, Lycan, if they win a fight, let's just say they win the next fight. I don't know how they did it, but they did. Lycan can take towers. All he has to do is be alive. He does not have a buyback for 150 more gold, and this is the other problem with Tinker. He's like a Naga right now. He is a farm sponge. None of your teammates are getting pretty much any of that farm unless Tinker's actually sitting in the fountain. Which, I mean, it's good that your Tinker has all that net worth, but when the rest of the team is deprived because of it, it becomes a serious problem.
Yeah, Lycan is very much struggling, and he's having a hard time fitting into this game right now. I mean, when he fights, he really can't fight, not into the RP and the Storm Spirit and everything, and he can't go push either because they'll just jump right on him.
Yeah. And they have a lot of jump on potential. I mean, as we talked about before, 3 Blink Daggers and a Storm Spirit, and then fullback. But fullback, I mean, the coins he's been able to scrape together are, I'm assuming, being saved toward a Blink Dagger.
Potentially. Let me have a look.
Not to mention, we also have a game 2 after this. It's a 2-game series. Hopefully, it won't take 30 minutes for the second game to get started, but you never know.
It is what comes with casting, unfortunately. Yeah, I am surprised at how poor this Rubik is. I can't believe he's at the... I mean, I guess he's just... Fullback's been really good about not kill stealing, and...
he's been getting the wards, too.
And he's only been there for 12 of the kills. So that's a little less than half, which means he's missed out on just a lot of proximity gold.
And again, this is part of the reason Wraith King fell off as a support, in my opinion. Once you get past about 20 minutes, Wraith King's like, what, I was support? I don't know. I'm carry now. Because you can see he's got a Hyperstone. He's like, let's build an AC. Come on, boys. Rubik, buy the wards, please.
Yeah, I mean, they don't need Rubik to have a lot right now.
They've got initiation.
On the Magnus. Like,
and the Skewer.
Storm Spirit, yeah.
Your Rubik doesn't have to blink forward if Magnus can kind of blink the enemies to you.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of times Rubik is played very, you know, he's aggressive, he's an initiator and everything, but in this lineup, he just seems significantly more, you know, defensive. If they go in, you have a Rubik there to steal ultimates and lift, etc., instead of jumping in, stealing lift for the initiation. I mean, it can be played equally, but they're not losing.
Oh! They've got an RP onto the Tinker. He'll be dragged back, and he is donezo. As he did buy out his 2nd level of Dagon recently, there is no buyback coming out from him. And the team will finally get a few last hits, maybe, though. So there's their bright side. But meanwhile, DDX on the bot lane, the rest of the team pressuring up top. Pepita will take the tower. And he looked like he wanted to man up there for a second. Not going to do it. Lycan threatening Storm off the bot tower, although I'm pretty sure Storm could kill him if he needed to. And Pepita, with a drum charge and an ult, or not even the ult, has already taken this tower down to almost no help. Now he'll ult up. DDX in the fray. Earthshaker forced to buyback, but there's already another refreshed RP. Lycan standing tall in the ult form. There'll be a buyback from the Bristle as well. However, Tinker's still down for 20 more seconds. And Earthshaker could be diebacking right now. It's going to take one more right click from Pepita himself to bring him down. Angel trying to throw off some quill sprays on the way back to the well, but GG will be called in between those frantic clicks. And it looks like we're going over to game 2 with the lead for Isurus.
And Earthshaker didn't even manage to get his ultimate off, unfortunately.
Yeah, it was a rough spot to buy back in. That's for sure. But they managed to do it, and Isurus, what started off as a really tough game for them with the 2-0 lead from SadVoid, they managed to turn it around. And I honestly, just looking at scoreboard here, I'm going to tell you what part of the problem is. 0-7 Bristleback. Yeah,
Bristleback he had a pretty hard time. So he
I mean, he had a hard lane.
He got levels fairly well, and the ancient stacks helped him out, but he really didn't get the farm he needed to actually be tanky. So even though SadVoid's had some really nice rotations early on, and Lycan got pretty decent farm, Bristleback, he really didn't get a lot out of it, and Troll does a lot of damage to Bristleback, especially when he's lower levels and he can't fight him as well.
Yeah. Anyways, we'll try to talk about that leading into game 2 in just a second. Of course, Mesper Evolution 5, joined by Reinessa for Truesight TV. Find us at those handles on Twitter. We'll be right back with game number 2 between Isurus and SadVoid. Sorry to cut you off there, Reinessa.
Okay.